I remember when I started to feel the pull away from being a traditional church pastor. After years of experiencing the best rewards of ministry as well as the disappointments, I knew that God was pushing me towards something new. And that's when I started to look into different church expressions. I researched so many different denominations, styles of worship, and ecclesial differences. But one expression that really drew my attention the most and was the house church movement. My personality is when I'm interested in a particular topic, I read about it and learn as much as I can. So I started to pick up some books about it, and that became my journey in starting a house churches. So here I am a few years in talking about it on a YouTube channel. So obviously these books were very influential to me, and I wanted to share the top 5 books about the house church movement. These books offer different perspectives on house churches and come from different angles of looking at this topic. So here's my list. Number 5, Organic Church by Neil Cole. This is a great book to get a basic understanding of the organic side of doing church this way. He talks a lot about the relational side of house churches and how churches should operate more as an organism rather than an organization. He also has some other books about discipleship and using the APEST model, which is apostles, prophets, evangelists, shepherds, and teachers, and using this model to equip the church. Number 4, Microchurches by Brian Saunders is also a really good book to understand how house churches thrive even in small numbers. Many people just don't understand how house churches can really be effective in such small numbers, but this is actually where the church thrives, and it's been thriving for thousands of years. Don't underestimate the smallness of house churches. They can actually do so much for the culture around them. Number 3, Unchurching by Richard Jacobson. This really pulls back the curtain on traditional institutional churches and helps you to start asking really tough questions. Why do we do the programs that we do? Are these church services effective in discipleship? Why do we have to go to church? I thought we already are the church. I believe that when you're learning something new, you have to learn to ask good questions to help you arrive at the right destination. So he will help you start to ask those important questions. The New Parish is a surprising find. I was not expecting to find this one to be so good. He focuses on the priority of house churches being centered in neighborhoods. Geography is oftentimes overlooked when talking about house churches. And so when church buildings were built in the 1900s, they were built in neighborhoods and for people to walk to church. But with the advent of the automobile and the infrastructure of the highways, church culture also changed. It's now normal to attend a church that's 30 miles away, and you pass up 20 or so other good churches in the process. So many churches want to impact their city, but in the process forget about their own zip code or neighborhoods or immediate community around them. And this book will help you understand the concept of church as a new parish. Letters to the Church by Francis Chan was personally my favorite book because of his sincere heart and humble perspective. While this book doesn't answer every question about house churches, it has inspired thousands of individuals to start house churches all around the world. Most of this book just quotes what Scripture says about living in community and is definitely one of the most popular books on house churches. The We Are Church elders even started a ministry called the Church Intensive, which helps train people to start their own house churches in their community. My wife and I have gone through this training and have been able to join a network of churches because of the Church Intensive. So this is why I really enjoy this book. Before I conclude, I wanted to give you some other book recommendations on the topic of house churches or just on the topic of church ministry and living in Christian community. And these books have really helped shape my perspective on ministry and living in Christian community. So here they are. I would love to share these additional books with you. Okay, so obviously there's Letters to the Church, like I mentioned, by Francis Chan. There's this book called House Church by Steve Atkerson. This is Made for People by Justin Whitmore Early. He talks about 10 ideas to live in intentional Christian community. That one was really good. There's The Tangible Kingdom by Hugh Halter, creating incarnational community. There's Simple Church by Tom Rainer and Eric Geiger. That one's really good. Then there's House Church. This one has so much data and statistics because it was also created, the foreword was by George Barna, but this book is by Wolfgang Simpson. This one's a really great one as well. All right, and then there's The Emotionally Healthy Church by Pete Scazzero, a strategy for discipleship that actually changes lives. And then there's James Bryan Smith's The Good and Beautiful Community. So these books have really helped shape my life as a pastor, as a house church leader, simplifying church, bringing an intentional community to our house church, and just expanding my knowledge and growth in this area. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, especially if you're a reader like me, and if you want to learn more about house churches from people much smarter than me. God bless you guys.